Live from Waterford and Dungarvan, this is Waterford at 1 News.
Phil Hogan confirmed as new EU Trade Commissioner. Planning permission granted for housing development in Knockboy. Finance Minister says the government is aware of Waterford's unemployment issues. And in sport, Blues boss disappointed after Waterford knocked out of FAI Cup. Good afternoon. Phil Hogan has been named as the new EU Commissioner for Trade. It comes at a crucial time for both the EU and Ireland, with his tenure coinciding with the UK's exit from the EU. In a statement, Commissioner Hogan says he'll support the pursuit of a strong, open and fair trade agenda. The President-elect of the European Commission announced the position, along with other roles in the College of Commissioners. Ursula von der Leyen described Mr Hogan as a tough negotiator.
Phil Hogan from Ireland, the incumbent Commissioner for Agriculture. He is known as a hard and a fair negotiator. He will bring his experience to the new Commission in the trade portfolio.
Meanwhile, duty-free shopping will be reintroduced for travellers between Ireland and Britain in the event of a no-deal Brexit. Under a reciprocal arrangement between the two governments, passengers at ports and airports will be able to buy alcohol and cigarettes without paying the tax and the VAT. Duty-free sales will be subject to the normal limit of €430. Business journalist Vincent Wall says the agreement does not apply to people shopping in the north.
Any adult, I think, over 18 years of age, travelling by boat or plane from any place in the Republic of Ireland to the island of Britain. It doesn't include people travelling across the border to Northern Ireland.
On Board Pleanála has granted planning permission to build 199 houses and 44 apartments, as well as a creche in Knockboy in Waterford City. The board has been criticised by Waterford Fianna Fáil councillor Adam Wise for not accepting its own inspector's recommendation to refuse permission for the €80 million housing development. He says he can't understand why the 97-page report from the inspector was not taken on board.
It's on Board Pleanála putting the foot down and saying we need to build houses, we have certain targets to reach and we're going to build them, which I've no problem with the houses being built. But again, I don't like this idea of a larger authority that is, a lot of unelected people who don't really care, in my opinion, about what's best for Waterford or what's best for people in Ballygunner, completely taking it out of our hands.
He says he really wants to see houses built in Waterford, but not the Celtic Tiger style, where there's no regard for the people living in the area and those who will live there in the future.
We've 6 elected reps in Waterford City East that had a meeting with the city manager that put concerns to Hazel O'Shea, who is a senior planner in Waterford Council, and they fed in the local authority report, and they also recommended that they should go ahead with a number of changes. But if their own employees are saying they shouldn't go ahead, then who is telling them it should? Who is making that final decision to say, you know what, to hell with that, this is what we're going to do, we're going to build these houses and we'll deal with the issues when they come.
The Minister for Finance says they're playing their part in moving forward the investment projects that matter in Waterford and the South East. It comes as the unemployment rate in the South East increased in the second quarter of the year to 8.1%. It's the highest rate in the country and reveals a growing gap from the national average, which is 5.4%. Minister Paschal Donoghue says he's aware that the crash was particularly vicious in Waterford.
The recovery that has been underway nationally is one that took longer to be felt here, and we still need to work to make sure that it's feeding through into people's living standards, their income and their employment. I'm aware of that. But that's why we made the decision in relation to Waterford Airport. That is why I'm here to continue to work on the North Quays project. And that is why I'm also here to urge all those who are involved in the Technological University project to continue to accelerate their collaboration to get that project in place.
He recognises that there's still employment issues in Waterford.
We are playing our part in moving forward in investment projects that matter here. If you look at the investment that we have underway in Tremor Town Centre, if you look at the work that we have underway with Greenways here, all of those speak to the fact that we recognise that there are employment, there are investment issues that we need to make progress on here, and we'll continue to do that. And it's one of the reasons why I'm back here again today.
The Agriculture Minister is urging Meat Industry Ireland to reflect on their decision to withdraw from beef talks. Talks were due to resume yesterday, but the organisation pulled out because farmers continue to protest at processing plants. It says the blockades are forcing factories to close indefinitely. Minister Michael Creed says it's essential that Meat Industry Ireland engages with farmers.
I would make the direct point to MII. Engagement with your customers is a business imperative. And we cannot have a situation where their refusal to engage effectively closes down the entire industry. And I would appeal to them and to all parties now to reflect, and particularly to reflect on the fact that any unilateral action now has the capacity not to add to the possibility of a solution, but actually to exacerbate the difficulties we face.
The Taoiseach says he believes that the Fine Gael party in Waterford could secure a second Dáil seat in the next election, despite recent allegations of bullying hanging over the party. An internal investigation found there was no incidents of bullying or intimidatory behaviour. The local election candidate who lodged the complaint is to leave the party. Fiona Dowd said she's been an active member for 30 years, but she cannot in good conscience support an organisation that condones the type of behaviour that has been ongoing within the Waterford Fine Gael membership. It's expected the Fine Gael election ticket will be finalised within the coming weeks after sitting TD John Deasy announced he would not be running again. Leo Varadkar says he can't say whether the recent issue has damaged the party's reputation.
I certainly don't think it's been good for the party nationally and locally. Whether it's damaged it or not, I don't know. What I can say is that politics is a rough and tumble business, and there are always interpersonal rivalries and a lot of interpersonal competition. But as far as Waterford is concerned, we have a selected candidate in Senator Coffey right here beside me, who's a very strong candidate, has been a government minister before, and also will be adding to our ticket, and we're very confident that we can hold a seat here in Waterford, and maybe on a good day even challenge for a second.
University Hospital Waterford is one of the worst hit hospitals for patients waiting for beds today. 489 people are waiting on trolleys across the country. There are 76 patients without beds at University Hospital Limerick, the worst affected facility according to the INMO. That's followed by University Hospital Waterford, where 40 patients were waiting on trolleys this morning. Children as young as 8 are spending up to 2 months of the year online. That's according to CyberSafe Ireland, which has surveyed 4,000 8 to 13-year-olds as part of its latest annual report. It's found 9 in 10 children now own a smart device, while more than 1 in 10 are spending more than 4 hours a day online. Jill O'Mahony is a lecturer in sociology at Waterford Institute of Technology. She says it's not appropriate.
2 months out of a year online is bizarre, and I can't help but think that that's a lot to do with a lack of conversation. It's a lot to do with maybe parents' lives getting busier and saying, right, go on your tablet while I'm making dinner, or go on your tablet while we're doing this or while we're doing that. You've had a long day in school, chill out and watch YouTube. Or it's this kind of a attitude whereby we just say the tablet, the device, the smartphone is kind of almost a fail-safe babysitter. I know that sounds harsh, but more and more it's becoming that.
There were 3 Waterford winners at a special awards ceremony in Dublin yesterday. Scott Tobin, Joanne Chester and the Men's Support Group at the Sullis Centre were all recognised at the Hidden Hearing Heroes. 14-year-old Scott was recognised in the Young Hero category. He's a key member of Mount Sion Choir despite wearing double hearing aids. Waterford native Joanne picked up the overall award in the Hearing Hero category. She set up a youth club for deaf children in Dublin. And the Men's Support Group were named the overall Super Volunteer Hero for their work in creating a garden at the centre.
WLR Sport.
First to soccer, Bulgaria are the visitors to the Aviva Stadium for an international friendly this evening. Mick McCarthy is expected to make a number of changes to his Republic of Ireland side, which drew with the Swiss last Thursday. Conor Horahan will start at left back, with Enda Stevens set to be suspended for Georgia away next month. James McLean had been expected to be the reserve left back, but McCarthy says tonight doesn't necessarily change that.
I don't think that 90 minutes against Bulgaria is going to make any difference at all. In terms of him playing there, I really don't. If I had to play him there, I wonder what I'd do if I lost his energy and his drive and that ability to close down from the front. And I just tell you, the left back slot isn't concerning me.
Kick-off at Lansdowne Road is at 7:45. Dundalk are into the semi-finals of the FAI Cup. Daniel Kelly scored a hat-trick as the Lilywhites defeated Waterford 3-1 at the RSC. Blues boss Alan Reynolds says he was disappointed.
You can't give away soft goals like that, and look, they're standing, like, let's be honest, they're 10 points clear at the top of the division, and I'd say their budget is probably 4 times the size of ours. They're really good, really good budget. We stand off them and left it, but then again, you scored a penalty and it gives you something to hang on for. But look, I'm disappointed. I thought we didn't deserve to be 3 down, against them.
Waterford will have to travel to Scotland next month for their 4th round game in the Tunnock Scottish Challenge Cup. WLR's Matt Keane reports.
Waterford FC have been drawn away to the Scottish League to outfit Stenhouse Muir in the 4th round of the Tunnock Scottish Challenge Cup. The team, who are based in Falkirk, 20 miles away from Edinburgh, are currently struggling in their league and they have won just 1 of the 5 games played to date. Waterford defeated Hearts Colt in their 3rd round tie, and the game in Scotland will be played on the weekend of October 12th and 13th. Matt Keane, WLR Sport.
Now to Gaelic Games, Donal O'Rourke has stepped down as Waterford senior camogie manager after 2 seasons in charge. The Cappoquin man guided the Daisha to back-to-back All-Ireland quarter-finals. He told WLR Sport that it was an honour to have managed his county and thanked the players, the county board and the Waterford public for their support.
To do a job for your county, Tomas, to be asked to do anything for your county, if it's carrying hurleys or water, we're all Waterford, and I'm very passionate Waterford man, and them girls brought the best out in us all.
O'Rourke will take up a coaching role with Erin's Own in Cork next season. That's the latest on WLR. Our next bulletin is at 2:00.